Welcome back. Let's get into the MLB action Sunday, April 6th. We're going to break down the entire MLB card, 16 games coming to you guys live. This is one where we're going to look to bounce back from yesterday. After a strong Friday, did not get it done yesterday. Maybe the attention was turned too much to the Final Four, where we swept the board within the two games that we had within the Final Four action. But that's where we're going to get into my 5 best bets for the MLB card, as well as I'll give you guys some leans as we break down each and every game. So appreciate you guys all coming back to TBM Sports. Yesterday within the MLB card, we had a lot of games that could have went either way. For example, the bet that I had within Philly, that was one where we did not get that push. We needed them +1. Also, Houston, underwhelming what they're able to do offensively. They're almost going to be on my no bet list until they get that offense turned around. And then the Cleveland Guardians, Indians, they did kind of let us down going against the Los Angeles Angels, as that series is now tied 1-1. As we get into the Sunday matchup. Okay. Also, the Braves, for what it's worth, I did take a little flyer on the Marlins on the money line Friday, and they did not get that one done. Yesterday, though, however, the Braves did fall to the Marlins, and we are seeing a little bit of a repricing in the market with the Braves getting blanked by the Marlins and losing 4-0, I believe. The handicap was right. Marlins put up 4, just need the Braves to hit the baseball, which they failed to do time in and time again. Okay, so we're going to get down into the bets. Also, we did hit the one bet we did hit was the Reds. So shout out to the Reds for kind of getting back on the snide and getting into the win column for an eventual kind of short price we had on the money line. And lookingly to do that again today. We'll see what happens, but I will give you guys my rundown. We'll break down each and every game. So let's get down into the picks, all right? If you haven't done so already, guys, like I said a little earlier, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join us, and let's get this show going as we look into the card. We are going to use Outlier to break down the entire card. Make sure you guys are all clicking my link down below. Sign up with Outlier today, 7-day free trial. If you don't like it, just quit. It's no questions asked, money back guarantee, 7 days free on Outlier. You should be using this, I'm just being honest, because within the pricing in the market, you could be laying 120 when you can only be laying minus 105. Do not pay more for your bets, okay? If you're using all the sports books, it's not just for the best odds available. It just saves you a lot of time and information. If you're in the props, fantasy, it is one of my favorite tools out there in the industry, okay? But as we look into the first game, we talked a little bit about Miami and Atlanta. This is one where we're seeing a repricing as the Marlins are +136 on the money line as they take on the Atlanta Braves. And the reason why this is kind of important, okay, is solely because of the fact that when we talk about kind of the Atlanta Braves, they have some, some injury concerns. They have some looming suspensions that they just have not really showed up this season thus far, okay? And this is kind of where we look at a 135 first pitch, and we talk about it. This is kind of where I look into this game. Sandy Alcantara going against Holmes for the Braves. This is a pitching edge for the Marlins, okay? But it's one where I don't, quite frankly, trust Sandy Alcantara, 3.72 ERA. I don't trust the Marlins bats. It's kind of a buy low spot for Atlanta, to be honest. If you would have had a little bit of a decent start for the season by the Braves, you're seeing them minus 150 against the Marlins at home. This would be almost an auto bet at this price, but I just don't trust the Braves lineup. And quite frankly, with Holmes pitching 7.2 ERA, it's not something I'm going to get involved with. So we're going to stay away from this game, albeit very attractive, taking the Braves at a buy low spot, minus 150. Okay, Yankees and Pirates. This is one where we do get Warren going against Andrew Heaney. We do see a kind of a interesting matchup as Pittsburgh rolls out the lefty, 1.8 ERA. It's going to be kind of a weird spot here with the Yankees bats. Because it is something where I do expect Pittsburgh to have some success on the mound. We look at kind of the runs, and you talk about the total set at 9. It does kind of pose a little bit of an interest to me, but this is something where it's hard to go against the Yankees here on the run line, okay? They're dominating left-handed pitching, despite Heaney and his great ERA. I'm not going to get involved with the 9. It kind of does jump off at the page of me as a potential underspot, but this is something where I would probably lean Yankees team total, okay? I don't trust Pittsburgh's bats. They are somewhat kind of the most underwhelming team, 23rd in batting average in the MLB. And we look at the Yankees really getting it done. Number one, batting a collective 299 as a team, outpacing pretty much everybody here in the market, leading in home runs as well. 299, just below the surprising St. Louis Cardinals in team batting average, and a substantial drop-off between the Padres and the Yankees, as the Padres come in third at 279, and that's kind of where I stand, okay? The Pittsburgh Pirates, 26 in batting average, 198. I just don't know if they're going to be able to plate enough runs in this spot to hit the 9. If you do like the Yankees, team total, run line, those are bets that I would get involved with. Minus 108 is that run line price, and you can find a 9 priced at plus 100. If you want to look into team total, I'm sure it's 4.5 runs for the Yankees. That's probably where I would lean in this spot, okay? Next game is the Cardinals and the Red Sox, all right? No bet for me in this one, but I do lean under the total of 9. You see this right now. It is something where we could talk about it a little bit more in its entirety, and we bring up the card, and we can kind of look at where we're at, all right? This is something where in the last five games, well, actually a little bit more than that, okay? Basically, 8 of the last 10 games, dating back, well, that's through last season, but as we look at this season, we could talk about kind of 6 of the last 7 games, first 7 games for the Cardinals, okay, have went over the total. And this is kind of where, you kind of want to pick your spots, and I think this is a bet that leans towards the under, okay? I think that, quite frankly, the Red Sox at home does give you a little bit higher scoring, in my opinion. But I would lean under, kind of go contrarian in the market. But it's not something that I love. It's not going to make my card. But in this game against the Red Sox and Cardinals, I kind of lean under the total of 9 if we were going to give it out as a play. But it's more so just a lean, no official bet for me, okay? Next game, Diamondbacks and Nationals. This one almost made my card. Corbin Burns going against the Nats, and the Nats pitcher is to be determined, so maybe a little staff day. Not sure who they're going to roll out, but you can kind of see what we're looking at here as the Diamondbacks minus 175. Huge price for that money line. It's something where I don't trust them enough going against the Nationals. At a run line value at minus 102. So this is a stay away game for me as well. Potentially going Corbin Burns over his outs in this spot. I look for a strong pitching performance for him going on the road. 4.15 ERA, no decision in his first start. And that's kind of how I would be playing the Nationals and Diamondbacks game out here, but no play for me officially. Let's get into one of the first best bets that we will have. This will be the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, we get Tyler Glasnow on the bump going against Christopher Sanchez, and the Dominican here for the Phillies has been very strong, but he is due for some regression, in my opinion. And as we look at this a little bit more in its entirety, this is something where you talk about the Dodgers in this kind of getaway game, this rubber match, where a series is tied 1-1. How many times have we seen the Dodgers priced at minus 120? Now you're seeing it in the market. It has moved to minus 135. So some money line action. Since I've started my picks this morning, when I bet this thing, it was minus 120. Now it's minus 135. I just think that personally, this is a strong play for the Dodgers. I still like it at minus 135. We look at Glasnow, very dominant in his first start. I think that the Dodgers can handle left-handed pitching. This may potentially be lower scoring. That's why I'm not going to get involved on the run line. But I do think the Dodgers get this game on the road as they take down the Phillies. So we're going to lay it with the Dodgers here on the money line. I bet it at minus 120, but I still like it minus 135. And that'll be a bet that I will be giving out here and recommending on the channel. Okay. Next game is another game we're going to have a play in. This will be the Blue Jays and the Mets. We get another fine pitching matchup. Maybe the best of the day outside of the game we just talked about, but we do see Bowden Francis going against David Peterson. Okay, David Peterson was lights out in his start for the Mets, and it's kind of looking like a game where we do get a 3-2 ball game. The first 2 games between these clubs went under the total. I think there was 5 runs in both games. I'm not sure if that's true, but it was below the total of 7.5, and that's what we can find here in the market. So for me, guys, this will be a play under 7.5, Mets and Blue Jays. A bet that I kind of like quite a bit. Probably one of my favorite bets of the day. We'll see if the Mets bats wake up, but it is going to be kind of weird weather as well, kind of cold. We get a little bit of wind in this contest, and I think that this is something where you look and kind of what the Mets are able to do. I just don't see them breaking out. They're not going to score more than 4 or 5 runs, and I think that they do have the better pitcher going in this contest. So I think this is something where you look in kind of the Blue Jays. They're struggling to hit the baseball as well. Going against David Peterson, give me the under here, as I think this is a very strong play on the number, and it's a very fine price as we look at it in the market. Right now, you can find the best number available. And I'll show you guys what that is. Minus 115 on FanDuel, under 7.5 as an official play. Okay, next game is the White Sox and the Tigers. The Tigers have been pretty strong, I'm not going to lie. Talk about Job going against Perez. Tigers 4-4 on the season. I'll pull up some of the numbers here as we look at this game, and this would be something where you kind of want to back the Tigers, but at laying $2 price tag on the money line, and I don't trust them enough on the run line at plus money. This is something where it's just not a good price. Okay, so we're going to stay away from this one. It's a clear-cut pitching advantage for the Tigers. I don't know what the White Sox are going to be able to do. It would be a lean on the Detroit side of things. Probably Detroit not to bat in the ninth is how I would recommend a bet for this game, just because I think they're going to get out to a lead and the White Sox won't be able to keep this one close. I just don't trust them enough on the run line, so it would be Tigers to not bat in the ninth if I was going to play this game. No play for me, Baltimore and Kansas City. KC at home, Baltimore, we look at them kind of from a performance standpoint, right? They have the lineup. They seemingly look like they can get the job done every single day out. Gunnar Henderson is back in action. I just, quite frankly, don't trust this spot. They were able to win 8-1 against Kansas City on the road and then losing 8-2. A little too much variance. Totals getting up to 9 and 10 runs collectively. And it's just something where it's a back-and-forth series. I don't trust the number. Baltimore here at a cheap minus 108 price. Kind of what you're looking at with Cade Povich going against Bubick. The pitching matchup does favor Kansas City a tad. They are at home. Outside of that, though, it's not a really strong lean. There is no edge in this game unless you just want to get involved with a total. As we see that right now, you can find a 7.5 juiced up if you want to get involved. But there is no edge for me in this contest, so this is a no play for me. Okay, Astros and Twins. Okay, Paddock in his start, his first time out. This is something where it was absolutely abysmal, okay? And now we look at the Houston Astros, right? Ronel Blanco going against Paddock. Blanco didn't have a good first start either, okay? But now if you do want to get involved in the Astros, and I think after yesterday, a lot of people might have Houston on their no-bet list, plus 105 on the money line. Very, very attractive, okay? Great value. It's kind of a fishy bet. You look at kind of Blanco going for the Astros, against a horrible pitcher with Minnesota. It does set up for me to kind of look into this AL club within the Twins. The worst batting average in the major leagues. I quite frankly don't agree with the number. I think Houston should be a favorite. Plus 105 is really, really attractive. And there's something about this game, and that's why I'm going to stay away from it, okay? Otherwise, it is a very, very, this could be almost a, setting up to be kind of a max bet on Houston. I just don't trust the Astros, okay, because alongside kind of what we've seen within the Twins batting 182, you talk about Houston, they're 25th in the major leagues batting 199. This is a game where if Paddock wasn't pitching, the Twins would be a very heavy favorite in my opinion, but it's something where it's either Astros or nothing. It's just kind of fishy for me, so I'm going to stay away from it, okay? Padres and Cubs, okay? The Padres have lost 2 games against the Cubs to start off this series, and this is just too much value to pass up. I do think the Padres bats break out. Plus 120 on the money line will be an official play. It's the bet that I'm making. I think that on the money line, it's a price that we have to take, looking to kind of not get swept by the Cubs. We look at kind of Brown going for the Cubs as well, going against Hart. I think Hart will have a strong outing. I don't trust Brown. I think Padres get it done. They score at will, and I think the Padres at plus 120, it's a bad number, so we're going to be all over San Diego in this spot as they look to go 8-3 against the Cubbies in this kind of Sunday get-right game for San Diego, okay? Next game, Tampa Bay and Houston. This is no play for me as we look at kind of the pitching matchup. Rasmussen going against Kumar Rocker. Rocker had a horrible outing. It's kind of leaning for a Rays play for me as the Rays look to go 5-4. Minus 104 on the money line. A very cheap price. I would lean Rays just solely because of the pitching matchup, but it's something where I just can't really bet against the Rangers. 7-2 on the season. They can hit the baseball. So I think they're going to do enough offensively to back Rocker. Whether or not they get this one done is the other question. They did lose in his first outing, but I do like Tampa Bay in this game, but no official play. All right. Next one, we are going to have a play with the Athletics and the Colorado Rockies. All right, we've seen this game kind of have some high scoring in the first two matchups, 7-4 and 6-3 collectively, so 9-11 on the totals. But if you look back, even in their last five, right, 21 runs, 11 runs, 12 runs, 9-11 for the A's, and then Colorado on the other hand, that's something where they did not score a lot at Philly, but this is where we're playing this one in Coors Field, and it's a pitching matchup, guys, where this is something that does lean towards the conversation that as we look into kind of what Oakland, well, not Oakland anymore, but the Athletics and Rockies, right, with Estes and Dollander, I think this is going to be a slugfest, okay? So we're going over the total here. I did bet this over 10. Find that flat 10 because you do get a push. If it goes 5-5, we get extras. We cash the ticket. Minus 126. Get that flat number. Minus 126 is my official play on the over 10 in A's Rockies. Okay. Mariners and Giants, we're going to go a little bit different. We haven't done one yet this year, but we're going to go first five in this game as an official play. Another great pitching matchup, right? Jordan Hicks was lights out, 6 innings of work going against Brian Wu, who had a great first outing as well. If this game was in Seattle, right, Pitcher's Ballpark, this would be a max bet for me. But with the Giants, 7-1, Mariners 3-6 on the road. I do like the Giants on the money line, minus 122, but my best bet for this game, we're going to go under Seattle San Fran. We're going to go under 4 at minus 105 in the first five, and that will be one of my strongest plays of the day that I will give out. So we're going to go under first five, Mariners and Giants. All right. Next game is the Guardians and the Angels. Looking to get right after that loss last night. This is kind of where we look into it, guys. You talk about a matchup between Ortiz and Ty Anderson. This is kind of where you look into the Guardians and what's going to happen. I think that we've seen a lot of runs in these ball games between these two clubs. I think this continues. That's why the total is set at 9. Got to favor the Guardians, the Indians, minus 118. I think that we look at the pitching matchup. It does favor the Angels a little bit. It's going to be a game where I'm going to stay away from it due to that reasoning. Angels at home plus money could be potential, kind of a little bit of a dog here that I do favor. It's too much of a coin flip. I don't trust the pitching matchup, albeit though I do kind of like Cleveland to win this game and kind of take a 2-1 series against the Angels here in this spot, but no play for me. Okay, last one we are going to talk about is St. Louis and Boston, right? As we look at this, Miles Mikolas going against a pitcher not named yet for the Red Sox. And playing in Boston, we've seen a lot of runs scored in this matchup throughout the first two games. And as we talk about it, guys, this will be the Sunday Night Baseball game, 7:10 first pitch at Fenway. I do think this is something where we look into the totals, right? 9-13. 9-13 was the last kind of outing where we saw a high-scoring affair between St. Louis and Boston. And it's something where I think last night's game did get rained out, so we do get two of them going. So we will have the Sunday Night Baseball as well as a 135 makeup. No play for me in either of these games. Doubleheaders are kind of tricky, and that's kind of why I talked about the first one a little bit earlier on in the show. We're going to lean overs, and it's something where I'm not going to play it. I don't play doubleheaders traditionally, but what I will do is, let's say, based upon kind of what we saw, how Boston was able to win game one, let's say St. Louis wins game one of the doubleheader. I will be on Boston for the 7-10 game as I do look to the numbers here statistically. Doubleheaders are usually splits. So whoever wins the first game at 135, I will be going on the other side most likely. We'll see how the card shakes out, but that's how I treat doubleheaders, and that's kind of what I'd be doing in this spot. So no play for me in the 135 game, and if we do get a matchup where it favors kind of who the Red Sox roll out as a pitcher, I probably would be going opposite whoever won the first game at 135 as my official best bet. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. Guys, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. The recap of the best bets, we're going under 7.5 Mets and Blue Jays. Padres plus 120 on the money line. Colorado, Oakland, we're going over 10, and the under Seattle, San Francisco, first 5 innings, going under the total of 4 runs, and then we're going to take the Dodgers money line. I took it minus 120. Now the best number is minus 135, but that is my 5-pack of my best bets. Good luck out there. Let's cash some tickets, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.